Alright, welcome back to Everyday Race. Today I'm going to be installing a clutch in a Kawasaki ZX10r. This is a 2005 model, but 2004 up to 2010 is pretty much the same, except for a few small differences. So, I already got the bike apart, and I'm about to start putting it together. So step one is to put the spacer in there first. As you can see, there's a dot right in here. That's going to be facing towards you. It goes in like so. Next, I'm going to be installing the clutch basket. As you can see, this clutch basket has been modified. I got big rivets put in the basket. They've also been welded. I highly recommend that this mod. Let's put the basket in. The best way of doing it is to slide it in there like so. Push it this way so the oil pump can line up. And put the center piece in like so. There we go. And then put the center piece with the holes facing away or facing towards you. And that's it. The next step would be to install this washer like so. The step part is facing away from the engine. So put it in like so. Then you install the inner hub. Like so. Fairly easy. Next step would be to install the hub. You have to line these three guys up. So if you put it facing up at 12 o'clock, you can do the same thing here. Just gonna flip it. And the sucker's in. Next, I can put the clutch mod in there. As you can see, there's a slot. It's right for this part. So all you have to do is just put it like so. Next, I like to put the bolts in. I had to take them out because the clutch mod would not clear the heads of the bolts. So you got to put some thread locker on them. Don't use the red thread locker, use blue thread locker. These are 11 millimeter. Our next step is to put the 27 millimeter nut back on there. I like to use impact to tighten this sucker up. So nice and tight. Next, I've got the clutch pack, and what I'm gonna do is on 2006 up to 2010 models, they don't have this Judder Spring that's specific for 2004 and 2005 Kawasaki ZX10r. They, for some reason, removed it on the later models, and what I like to do is I like to use this Judder Spring and makes your clutch real smooth. It's like the best mod ever. I've used probably like 10 of these in my previous bikes, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So since I'm using this Judder Spring, it's going to go in the pack together with the clutch pack. The next step should be is you have to measure the clutch stack height. It's supposed to be 2.11 inches tall or 53.5 millimeters. If the stack is too tall, you can use a steel that's thinner. You can pick the thickest one after you measure them and just put the thinner steel in there. If the stack is too short, you have to find the thinnest steel out of the bunch and replace it with the thicker one. You really want to get the stack height correct, otherwise you're going to have clutch issues. But before I put the clutches in, you have to soak them in oil for about an hour. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to soak them in Castrol, same oil I'm using in the bike. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to put the fibers in the baggie, and then just put some oil in there. Nice and easy. And close it up so it doesn't spill, and wait for about an hour. Alright, it's been about an hour, and clutch fibers are ready, so it's time to put them in. So these, as you can see, there's you have some notches on the fibers, but they really don't mean anything. You can put them whichever way you want to. There isn't a front or back, so all you have to do is start with the fiber, and there are slots in here. Put them like so. Slides back. Next is going to be going Judder Spring. So line these teeth with the teeth on the inner hub and slide it in. Then we got another fiber, same deal. Line them up. Then a regular steel, and the regular steel has a sharp side. As you can see, there's a big difference. The sharp side is supposed to be facing towards you. So go ahead and pull the, keep the steel with the sharp side facing you, and put it in. Then another fiber. Then another steel. Once again, sharp edge towards outside towards you. Another fiber. And steel. And fiber. Steel. Fiber. Steel. Fiber. Steel. Always check with your finger for the sharp edge. At least that's what I do. Fiber. Steel. Fiber. Steel. And the last fiber I like to put in these slots. Just like this. Perfect. Next would be the pressure plate. It has to go all the way, so you'll know, just like so. Next step would be to put the springs in like so. On the springs you have a bunch of different options. If your bike is making more power, you can put stiffer springs. For example, GSXR 1000, I believe their intake valve springs work really good. You've got 6 springs. You can put 3 stiff springs, and you can put 3 stock springs if you want more stiffer clutch, or a clutch that can hold more power. You put all stiff springs. Another option is you can use spacers. If you put a spacer on the spring, it's going to add additional preload. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. And I'm just going to use 3 spacers. I'm going to put one here, like so. I'm going to put one here. And I'm going to put one right here. I really don't want too stiff of a clutch, but I'll figure out if my clutch slips, if my bike makes too much power, I'll be able to add three more spacers and then try it again. So, but for now I think 3 of them will do. So next, put the springs in. And next, you got to put the bolts and it takes a 5mm Allen wrench. So all you do, you put it in like so, apply a little bit of pressure, get one of them started. Then all you have to do is torque them down to 96 inch-pounds. Now remember, that's inch-pounds, it's not foot-pounds. 96 foot-pounds would probably break them right off. So you just want to make sure they're nice and tight. Alright, next step was to put the clutch cover gasket. I'm just going to reuse my old one. It seems to be in good shape, in usable shape. Don't put the clutch rod in the clutch cover just yet. So, put the clutch cover, make sure it goes in nice and straight. You've got 2 dowel pins you got to line up. There we go, nice and easy. And we have 10 bolts. I'll start with 2 long ones. Come on. They are 8mm bolts. So just start them up. You've got different length bolts, so make sure you know where to put the long ones. These 2 are the long ones too. And we got the short one. Short one. Short one. Short one. Short one, and medium size goes in this hole. Then let's go ahead and tighten them up. Now I gotta tighten them up to about 98 inch-pounds. Next step is to put the puller shaft in. It goes in like so. Nice and easy. The next step is pretty important as well. We have to adjust the slack for the clutch cable. If you don't adjust it like right now, it's too tight. The clutch is gonna slip. So you have 2 options. You have if you need to make big adjustments, there's 2 nuts that you can loosen up. and move the cable that way, or by the look of it, it doesn't look like we just need to adjust slightly. The second option would be right here on this wheel. So if you turn it clockwise, you're gonna add some slack. If you turn counterclockwise, you're gonna tighten up the clutch. So what I like to do is I like to shoot for space, which is about a half a millimeter. If you can stick a penny in there, it's good enough for me. So all you have to do is just turn it clockwise. As you can see, there's some play. This is too much. A little bit more. And you can see there's about a half a millimeter, and that's actually what I like, how I like to set up my clutch slack. As you can see up here, there's play right here, just what I wanted. So, and the job is done. Now it's time to go and test it out. Thank you for watching.